Hey guys, this is Morkberg here with my Motorola phone collection as of August 2020. I have 26 Motorola phones, so first I have them arranged from smartphones to dumb phones. Let's get started. First here is my Moto Z Play. This has a bad screen, but otherwise I believe it works. This is my Motorola Moto E6 on Verizon. I got this at the Eco ATM for $5. Come on. You gotta press the power button really hard with this thing. There we go. I have two Motorola Droid Razr M's. This one here is in better condition. The back glass isn't cracked and the screen has no burn-in. Now those two issues I mentioned that this one here didn't have, this has. As you can see, this glass is cracked. I put some tape over it. And then you might be able to notice later when I unlock the phones that this has some screen burn-in. So there's a burnt-in image onto the display that's stuck there forever, basically. Here's my Moto E4 Plus with a bad screen. Here's my Moto G first generation. This one is water damaged and does not work, but otherwise it's in pretty good condition. Here's my Motorola Droid Turbo 2. When I first got it, I thought it didn't work, but really all that was wrong with it was just that the charging port is bad. So I have to charge this thing using a wireless charger. And also it was Google locked and it was pretty difficult to bypass. Probably my most difficult Google bypass ever. But I ended up being able to get it bypassed, fortunately. And this thing is actually on Android 6, so that's kind of cool. Here's my Motorola Moto E4, not the Plus, but just the regular one. This one works totally fine and it's in good condition. Came with this case. Even though I don't really like this case, I just put it on anyway. For protection, of course. Here's my Motorola Droid 2. This works perfectly fine. Here's my Motorola Droid X. This does not work. It has some sort of software issue. And then here's my Motorola Droid 2, X2, X2. This works totally fine. Moving on to dumb phones, first here is the Motorola Renegade V950. I actually got this brand new on eBay for about $16, and I actually have the original box for it right here. This is the original box for this phone. And it had all the accessories in it as well, including the holster and SD card adapter, so that's pretty cool. Here I have two Motorola StarTACs. This one here is on AirTouch. This I got from the recycling center about a month ago, maybe. And then this other one here, I don't know what network it is on, but I've had this one for at least a year, maybe 2 years at this point. Here's my Motorola i776. This has a bad LCD, unfortunately. Here's my Motorola WX416. This works totally fine, even though it does not have a battery in it. And the reason for that is because I put the battery from this phone into here. This is my Motorola Rival on Verizon. Some of you may remember that this had a passcode, and I said it couldn't be bypassed, but I surprisingly was able to find a bypass for this, so now this works perfectly fine, and it's actually a pretty nice phone, and it has good speakers as well. Just listen to it. Yeah, invalid battery, so this is not an original battery that's in here. Moving on, this is actually my first Motorola phone. This is the Motorola i90C on Nextel, which, if you didn't know, was, I believe, acquired by Sprint. which is why the Nextel brand does not exist anymore. Yeah, but this is a pretty cool old phone. It's really chunky. And then here is a similar phone, even though it's on Boost Mobile. This is the Motorola i875. This came out a few years after the i90C, and it's also pretty cool. Something about this is that it has this button on the side. When you press it, the screen comes open. Here is... I have 3 Motorola Razr V3s. These 2 here are on T-Mobile, and then this one here is on US Cellular. Only this one has a battery charge. This one does not have a battery in it. And then this one here is just dead. All 3 of them work. And yeah, this here I do not know if it works. And then this one here I don't know if it works either. Here's my Motorola i730, also on Nextel. I don't know if this one works, but I've had it for quite some time as well. Here's my Motorola Razr 2 V9 on AT&T. This works perfectly fine, and it's actually one of my favorite Motorola phones that I have. Here's my Motorola V120 on Quest. If you don't know what Quest is, it was something that existed in only most of the western region of the United States. I believe it was the successor to what was known as US West, which was later acquired by AT&T. And then this here is the Motorola V265. This one I do not know if it works or not. Oh yeah, and also about Quest, I believe in around 2011 or so it was acquired by CenturyLink, which is why the Quest brand does not exist anymore. So now let's unlock these devices. And that's my Motorola phone collection for August 2020. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.